Oh, they're Mongolians. No. Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown. Shout out to, I haven't watched this YouTuber in a long time, but without this video, I won't be making this video. In defense of Jason Goes to Hell by, COP Communications. Shout out to you. You don't have to watch my channel, man. My channel's not for everybody. I say a lot of bad shit here. Very controversial shit. But anyways, moving on. I want to talk about Friday. He was talking about Friday the 13th, and it got me thinking about how much I love this series of Friday the 13th. I love Jason. I do. I haven't talked about Jason in a long time. Now, I was planning to do a Chucky video. Haven't done one in years, haven't I? Viewers? Tell me how you think about that if you want me to do a Chucky video, because I used to be the Chucky guy. Now other people are the Chucky guy, and that's fine. You know, do what you want with it, people. Seriously. But the fact that I was a Chucky guy at one point is actually pretty cool. You know, the fact that I had that mantle at one point in time. You know, I didn't say that. People called me that. So I just was like, you know. And the best thing is I never killed it. I wasn't like, oh, fuck off or some shit. I embraced it. Eventually I stopped also, but eventually yes. But I'm glad other people took that mantle, you know. So shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you. And I'm not trying to take no mantle back or anything like that. I just want to talk about some horror shit. It's been a while. It's been a while that I talked about some horror stuff. So let's talk about Friday the 13th. Jason Voorhees. I know there's another Friday the 13th with the same fucking font. I remember I got confused by watching. They made a Friday the 13th TV series in the 80s? Huh. Let me check this out. This has nothing to do with Jason. Was this a mystery shit? What the fuck am I watching? Just call it Scooby-Doo without the dog. Anyways, and without weed. No wonder Jason wasn't in it. Moving on. But I want to talk about the covers also. This might be a long video, so strap in. You know, grab a couple of beers, grab a couple of popcorn if you're cleaning around the house or anything like that. You know, I'm glad you guys can do that too. Just, you know, listen to me like I'm a radio station. And I embrace that shit too. So if you guys can do that too, that'd be great. If not, hey, I don't care. Do whatever what your heart feels like. Anyways, you can rant while you're watching my video. You suck. Well, maybe I do. No. But moving on. Like Stewie, you suck. Anyways, when he's pointing at the toilet. But the Friday the 13th one cover looks really dope. It's mysterious. You have a whole bunch of camp counselors in the woods looking like, yo, what the fuck, you know? What is it? Friday night? What is it? What's that game called? Silently Deadly Night or something like that. If you told me they were gonna make a movie of that game, this is the cover I would think it will be, because it looks exactly like it will be that cover for that video game in my opinion. But it's not, so it is what it is. But it is cool. It's a nice little cover. The first Friday the 13th movie is very, very good. Was it Pamela Voorhees, I believe? The actress that plays Pamela Voorhees is iconic as shit. All right. Very iconic as shit. Especially that sweater. You know, Mrs. Voorhees is hot. Yeah, maybe we should get her a Christmas sweater. If you know that reference, you deserve a that 70s show cookie. You know, Miss Foreman is hot. Yeah, but you give her a sweater. It's like, yeah. Anyways, moving on. Again, the cover is great. The movie's awesome. That one scene with the main actress, Alice, I believe. Yeah, Alice. I can remember these names. That she's making coffee for like, 15 minutes? It is funny, it is laughable, but when you think about it, it's very intense. You feel like something's about to happen. Even when I first watched it as a kid, I was like, oh man, something's gonna happen there? Is something gonna happen there? Oh no, she's gonna grab something and something's gonna come out. Oh no, she's just making coffee. Oh, okay, cool. Ah! Some shit happens and shit. So, again, I haven't watched these movies in years. So, I'm not watching them out of refreshment or anything like that. We're all getting closer to the spring. So, maybe this Friday the 13th is a summer camp, type of thing, in spring type of movie, in my opinion. So might as well talk about it in the summer, eventually in the future. Please remind me of that, viewers, if I ever forget. Because sometimes I am forgetful. Hey, what do you expect? This Avatar body is 32 years old, so... Anyways. But, the movie overall, the first Friday the 13th movie is good. I recommend it. To me, it's literally, some people might think it's a generic movie, a generic, horror movie. But what it does right for a horror movie. And there's a reason why it's still talked about to this day, and it's very iconic, especially by the end, when Jason comes out of the water and Alex is like, every time I know it's about to happen, it still scares the fuck out of me. Great makeup by Tom Savini, I believe. Great fucking makeup. It literally looks like a freaking corpse came out of the water, It's just really, really good. Not 100% a corpse, but you could tell that Jason was probably still living somewhere in the woods while his mom was doing a killing spree or some shit. That's always been debatable too. Even the Friday the 13th remake did something like that, and people were like, wait a minute, if Jason was alive all this time, how come he could have just went to his mother and be like, hi mom, I'm alive? Which, yeah, but couldn't you just say the same thing with the original? This motherfucker came out of the water. Oh, but Alice just had a vision. Just like what the cops said. We didn't find any boy. Then he's still there. And that's how you end Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th Part 2. You get Jason Voorhees with that elephant mask. Very iconic. I love that it has like just one little hole of Jason to see and shit like that. The acting in this movie is way better in the first movie, in my opinion. And I just love how that freaking. I mean, come on, that's iconic as hell, man. Even before they parodied James Bond, you knew they already parodying James Bond with that song. Even before Jason came with the little eye hole, way before that happened, which was in Part 6, I believe. But Jason Lives, I think, right? But even way before that, already I knew this scene was paying homage to James Bond with that music. No, I'm sorry. I'm terrible at this, but I'm just gushing because I love that fucking beat. And then a Friday the 13th symbol, which I never mentioned in the beginning of the first movie, it goes like Friday the 13th. Glass breaks and shit like that. Great. Just gold. Fucking gold. In this movie, Jason's unmasked. Didn't we see him unmasked in the first movie? Yeah, but this is different. He's an adult. No. It's like Avatar: The Last Airbender, the TV show. The background shit. I love that. I love shit like that. It's like, he's an earthbender, right? Rocky. Because he throws rocks. We're going to keep going, but that's a good backup. Oh, God. Oh, I can't help it, man. I have to. This shit's hilarious. But Friday the 13th Part 2 is really good. It ends kind of like Part 1. Jason coming out of the freaking glass, grabbing the main heroine. Just like, ah! I remember when we first watched this movie, my mom and my sisters were like, oh no, the dog. Shout out to Nostalgia Critic. What about Boomer? Boomer will live. No. But this cover is nice too. I like how it's a different contrast between the first one and the second one of the Friday the 13th posters. Very similar, but still different. I like it. I like it. I wish they did that with what's it called? Fight Night Part 2, because it's literally the same poster as Part 1. At least if you're gonna do that, at least shake it up a bit, I don't know. I mean, at least Friday the 13th Part 2 did that. They took the same cover, but at least freshen it up a bit. They gave Jason an axe while his mother had a dagger. It's not a dagger, you son of a bitch. It's a hunting knife. Oh, well, excuse me. No. But, hey, it looks like Jason used that hunting knife again, because in Friday the 13th Part 2 cover, he's using that hunting knife. Isn't it a machete? Doesn't matter. It's 3D. The first Friday the 13th movie that is 3D. No. The kills are in your face now. This is the first movie that Jason gets his hockey mask, and it's iconic as shit. I feel sorry for the jokester character. Which if this movie was remade nowadays, it literally would be freaking played by freaking Seth Seth Rogen, which is just sad in my opinion, or Jonah Hill, which is sad in my opinion. That's what's gonna happen if they did remake this series. Oh man, it just kill me right now. But I would not like to think about it. Just saying. But the cover for Friday the 13th Part 3 is really, really cool. Isn't this the same movie where Jason stabs somebody in the back and she's like, ah? And then Jason goes like, and she's like, ah. Isn't this movie, or isn't it isn't it one of the first two movies? It has to be in Part 3. You know, the sexy woman is taking a shower and shit like that. You can see her titties and shit. And then Jason just stabs her in the back and she's like, ah, ah, ah. Just hilarious. I'm telling you, man, the sell in these movies, the selling, I know sometimes they oversell, but I can't help but love it. I can't help but love it. Sometimes overselling is a little bit too much, but when you do it and you make me laugh of the overselling, I'll be like, go ahead, Jason. Go do your thing. Hey, how do we not know Jason's really having sex with his victims? He just doesn't know how to have sex. So he thinks killing is sex. Makes sense. How do you think he's going to communicate with these women? He doesn't know. He drowned when he was a little boy. Makes sense. And then he watches all these high school, freaking technically college students and high school students having sex. So imagine as you a little kid drowned and you survived and you've seen all of that stuff, you know? You think it'd be pretty traumatizing. And, you know, in my opinion, you know, you're a little kid, you just drowned, you know, and now you're alive and you're seeing all these camp counselors literally fucking. And you're over here like, what the fuck, you know, like, this is what you're doing when I was drowning, you know? So, just saying. It's probably a shock, you know? You gotta think about it, you know? It's like, I would love to get to Jason's mind sometimes, you know? Like the character that this character is, man. The character development for Jason Voorhees, the way that... Because we really don't think about Jason's mentality sometimes, right? But when you go through these movies and you think about it as a mentality of how he sees these camp counselors, especially after he drowned and now he's resurrected, it's very weird. I'm not going to talk about the timeline stuff of like how the fuck he was a little boy in one movie and now he's a full-fledged adult in the other when it takes place a year after the first one. Guys, the timeline date scenario of Friday the 13th is non-existent. They don't care about it. Why should we? We try to make sense of the timeline of this universe, guys. It doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter. I don't think it never did. It's just a whole movie with a whole bunch of horny teenage characters that there's a killer out there that's killing these horny teenagers because they're having sex. That's it. That's your premise of a story. There you go. Do what you want with it. Have fun. You know, you can make it really great. You can make it really cheesy. Or you can just go all balls to the wall and have a freaking, type of fantasy craziness shit, which eventually they did. But moving on with that. Anything else about this movie? Friday the 13th Part 3? No. Do I think it's better than the second one? Actually, I won't say the second one. I won't say the third one's better than the second one. I won't say that. But it is more fun than the second one, basically. The second movie is more of a great story, more, horror-ish, basically. Not to say none of these movies are not horror, but it leans more into that scale factor in the second movie. While this one, the third movie, does have that scale factor, but it's mostly having fun. I mean, for crying out loud, Jason gets hung and he pulls his hockey mask off and shows the main halo in his face, and he's like, come on. And she's like, oh, it's you. Puts his mask back on and shit like that. I mean, come on. They were embracing. This was the third movie of the series. Of course they're going to embrace the cheesiness at this point. If you don't, what were you going to do? In the last fucking goddamn series? It's Friday the 13th, guys. There's no way to take this stuff way too seriously as it is, you know? It's not like Halloween, basically, you know? Fun fact. When Halloween did first came out, Michael Myers' Halloween, the guy that created Friday the 13th was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to rip it off. And for a ripoff, it became the most iconic horror icons of all time. You know, if people still want a Jason Voorhees versus Michael Myers versus battle. Hell yeah, I pay to see that shit. You know, and this is why we have a lot of fan movies online having Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees always fighting. It's easy to do, very easy to do. You know, I just love watching those fan films, bro. I need to go back to watch it. I used to watch them a lot when I was younger. So much. And there was some of them are so really, really good, man. Just the creativity, just the love and passion that these people have from these two characters. It's really, really good. I think I saw one where Michael goes to Camp Crystal Lake and Dr. Loomis's daughter or son goes to Camp Crystal Lake to find Michael Myers, but he stumbles into Jason and shit like that. I think I saw one that's like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm getting things mixed up and all that with some fan movies and all that stuff. But overall, I think Friday the 13th Part 3, the trilogy, if it ended it right here, Part 1, 2, and 3, pretty much, it would have been a nice little horror movie that people probably still wish that it kept going, you know? At least for me. At least for me. But at least we can look back at it, and at least in 2026, we could be like, you know what? Yeah, I wish the series kept going, but at least it stopped right there. And what we got is fun, and we could keep, you know, reliving those classic moments, you know. Not to say Part 4 is not bad. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. What a terrible fucking name. What a terrible fucking title. The final chapter. You really thought this was going to be the final movie, didn't you? You really thought this was going to be the final fucking movie that you were ever going to fucking make. You're Hollywood. You should know better. Dumb piece of shit. Did we ever got a sequel to King Kong? Yes, we did. And we got a sequel to that called Mighty Jong Yun. So don't tell me we don't do multiple movies. But didn't King Kong have 3 movies? That's besides the point. But anyways, moving on. Friday the 13th Part 3 is, to be quite honest, I watched it a lot more. I love to have the camp cancel a little circuit together and talk about the previous movies and shit like that. I think this one is with the kid with the mask, the kid that makes the Halloween mask and stuff like that. I think this is the one. I forgot the actor's name, but he's good in this one. I like it at the end of this movie, he shaves his head bald, and Jason looks at him and he's like, you know, like he's seeing his reflection of himself and shit like that. Again, great moments. Like from 1 to 4, great. Of Friday the 13th, to be honest with you. The kills are always great. I think the kills in Part 4 are way better than ever, in my opinion. They really were like, hey, we were creative with the character, we're creative with some of the characters that we have, let's be creative with the kills. And to be quite honest, this movie, Friday the 13th Part 4, a lot of people always think that, oh, this series has creativity of kills and all that. We didn't start getting that until, well, a little bit of Part 3. Not to say we didn't have those in the other movies, but really sunk in once Part 4 started coming, once it came out. That's when people got synced into the, oh, this is a movie to go to bring a little, to bring your, you know, your little girlfriend with you so she can get scared and hold you and shit like that. And you'll be like, yeah. Then, you know, you go back to their room, you go back to their house or something like your house, and you start doing what they do in the movie. And you'll hear like, oh, and she's like, oh, I don't know. Well, there's a killer out there. I'll protect you. Classic. Don't you miss the fucking 80s? I wasn't born in the 80s, but don't you miss that shit? When men were men and women were women. Just wants the bitch. Anyways, moving on. Friday the 13th, The New Beginning. This movie is crap. Really? No, it's actually pretty cool. I actually like this movie. I like Friday the 13th Part 5. Sue me. Oh yeah, I never talked about part 4 of the poster. Part 4 of the poster, Jason's mask on the floor, bloody with a fucking, what is it, his machete? Or no, it's a dagger in his eye. Classic. There's a reason why the NES version opened with that fucking title. You have the Michael Myers mask and then I think the Friday the 13th video game on the NES is very underrated. Very underrated. I don't get the hate for that game at all. Hey, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But to me, it's actually pretty fun. If you actually know what you're doing, it actually becomes a game that you actually enjoy. You know, but most people always want to complain saying that, oh, but I need to find out what I need to do. Yeah, that's like in every fucking game, you idiot. No, sorry, you need to play a game and figure out what to do. Like, I'm sorry. We live in an era with too much tutorials for your little simp needs, and I'm fucking sick of tutorials. Alright? Seriously. It takes like 20 or an hour for a fucking tutorial for a video game. It's stupid. Reasons why I like how Final Fantasy IV approach its tutorial. You just go into a little area inside the castle, and you have a whole bunch of wizards telling you how to play the fucking goddamn game. Stupid concept. Pokemon does this. You go to a little school, there's a freaking student saying that, oh man, there's so many notes to write down. You go to the freaking chalkboard and it says all the things that has in the game, and you press it and it tells you what it is if you get affected by it. Stupid concept. Jeez, man. That's what I'm saying, man. Tutorials used to be fucking awesome. Now it's like, we're gonna have to push the player for an hour of tutorial because we need to stretch that gameplay. Man, go fuck you and suck my fat cock, bitch. Seriously, motherfucker. Anyways, sorry, that's a side note. But, Friday the 13th Part 5, it all starts with a fat man asking a guy, does he want chocolate? And gets killed by asking a man if he wants chocolate. That's basically the story. But the main character, that's the little boy in the fourth movie, is grown up in this movie. That's why I mentioned, guys, the timelines do not matter and do not match at all. All right? Doesn't matter. You do see him more in this movie, and he's kind of reflecting on what happened to him as a kid. He's kind of traumatized and all that. That stuff is good. That stuff is good. Was it Tommy? Is it Tommy? I don't think it is Tommy. I think I'm messing up with the Halloween franchise here. But I'm glad that character is back. We should have had more with that character. I don't know why you decided to just not put him in New Blood. You put him in 3 movies and then you just got rid of him. Okay, whatever. But let's see. Hold on real quick. Let's see. Friday. No, I'm playing. I'm not gonna sing that fucking terrible song. Dumb bitch. There's a reason why you never came back to YouTube. You rich motherfucking father. No, I'm sorry. Most people are like, God damn! She wasn't that terrible. She was god awful. No. Yeah, I was right. Tommy Jarvis. Hey, look at that. I'm good. It's been years since I watched these movies, but damn it, I remember like it was yesterday. Who said you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Anyways, but Tommy from the 4th movie and the 5th movie are really, really good. I think he's better in the 4th movie than the 5th movie. Not to say he's bad in the 5th movie. For crying out loud, his friend dies because he wants to be like, I want to see if Jason is dead. Motherfucker, he probably would have still be dead if you didn't come over there and shove the freaking pipe inside of him and he got resurrected Frankenstein style, which is awesome, by the way. Canon that Jason Voorhees is the reincarnation of the universal monster Frankenstein. Who's the reincarnation of Dracula? Freddy Krueger. Duh. What about Wolfman? Chainsaw Massacre. What about the Mummy? Michael Myers. What about Creature from the Black Lagoon? Oh, that's easy. Jaws. You know? Seriously. What about Talking Tina? Chucky. Anyways, if you like that, you deserve a fucking horror cookie, guys. I love talking about horror shit, man. Seriously. I'm telling you guys, horror was my bread and butter. Seriously, I need to go back to it. It's just that a lot of these horror movies nowadays are just, but I've talked about that so much. You guys don't have to hear it here. This is about Friday the 13th. Don't you want to have fun? We're going to have fun here. All right. So let's go back to part 5 a bit. Part 5 of Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th, The New Beginning, is still fun at the end of the day. When I first saw the movie, I was confused by it and how the story was unraveling. But eventually, because I was a little kid, but once I watched it over time as I grew up, I was like, oh no, I like how the story is unraveling to find out that no, this Jason guy is an imposter. So he decided to just dress up as Jason to go after the people that really didn't pay attention to his son. Kind of sounds familiar, right? It's kind of almost hopping back to Friday the 13th Part 1. You know, like a mother is going after revenge on the camp counselors because they didn't take care of her son, you know? So that was that, you know? It's almost like a full circle in a way. So it's kind of weird, but that happened. But obviously a lot of people were pissed off that Jason was not in this movie. So the creators recorrected that. So with Jason Lives, my favorite Jason movie of all time, hands down, and obviously everyone probably has this at least in their top 3 Jason Voorhees countdown. If this is not on number 1 list at least, then you failed. Not playing. But let's talk before we go to part 6. Let's talk about the poster of part 5. I like the cover. I do. The only problem is with that hockey mask. No, I mean, the hockey mask is not bad. I got nothing against the hockey mask, in my opinion. The only difference is the guy that's playing as Jason, that is a poster of Jason, doesn't wear that hockey mask. I'm all for new hockey masks, and I think that hockey mask in the Friday the 13th New Beginning poster actually looks pretty dope. Looks pretty sick. I mean, is it going to replace the original that you see from part 3 and part 4? Fuck no. Fuck no. But it's still a nice one. And I would have loved to see it. Reasons why when they made figures of the new chapter of Jason, even though he is an imposter, you have the original hockey mask like they show in the movie, but they also gave you another mask that was part of the poster. That's cool. I like that. Very nice. Very sexy. Moving on, let's go to part 6. Everyone's favorite Friday the 13th movie. This one has a lot of kills. I'm not even going to talk about the MPA literally gutting half of these movies. I'm not even going to talk about that. Because it's what destroyed a lot of this franchise. And I know that some in the future they try to clean it up and try to bring it back. But it was so grainy and so fucked up the footage because they didn't take care of it that it was impossible to literally put it on the film. It was so impossible. It's sad, man. It's freaking sad. It's freaking sad. This is the problem with MPAA. And again, I don't want to talk about it all that much. It's freaking sad. It's pathetic. And it should have never happened to this franchise. Did you did it to Friday the 13th? Did you did it to Nightmare on Elm Street? Did you did it to Halloween? If you didn't do it to those movies, I'm sure they did, but not to the extent to Friday the 13th. You know? So I'm over here like, if you didn't do it that much, then why the fuck were you doing it in this franchise? Stop censoring Jason. He's a violent killer that will gut you in half like Leatherface. Let him be. Leave him alone. We want to see him slice people up. We want to see the guts and bloods, the guts and blood all over the fucking screen, all over the fucking floor. All right, if you can do that with Terrifier, how come we can't do it here? Anyways, Terrifier is another thing. Terrifier is like way to the future before these movies. But anyways, sorry. Just a little rant there. Just a little rant. Because if these movies were made now, oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. More gory the better. We want to compete with that freaking Terrifier shit, you know? So, you know if this series was now today, they would have done that shit. Would I watch it? I don't know. That's the thing, man. That's what I'm saying. Modern horror, man. I have such a problem with it. But moving on. That doesn't matter. Moving on. Jason Lives is really cool. Jason rises up from the fucking ashes like a freaking Frankenstein monster, like a freaking cosmic horror monster, and I love it. And The cover for Jason Lives is badass. You have Jason's headstone right there saying Jason Lives, and then the hockey mask is in the background of his tombstone with the silhouette all white and shit like that. Great. Just great fucking poster. Really great fucking poster. Overall, I think the movie's really fun. Really, really fun. I like that Tommy Jarvis is still here, and he's the main hero. He's the guy that you're rooting for, you know? And I love it. I really love it. Absolutely love it. It's a shame that they just stopped using his character overall. It is a fucking shame. It's a crime. And he should have been, if they really want to bring somebody back, you know, from Jason Goes to Hell, it should have been Tommy Jarvis, in my opinion. But what do I know? What do I know? But anyways, let's go to Friday the 13th New Blood, aka Jason Voorhees versus Carrie. That's basically what it is. And fun fact, Friday the 13th New Blood was almost going to be Jason versus Freddy. But the rights, people were arguing and all that shit, so Paramount and New Line Cinema just decided to just make their own Freddy movie and Jason movie. We were this close. We were this close to getting Freddy vs. Jason in the 80s. This fucking goddamn close. This close. And it would have fit too, because everyone was hyped. Everyone was ready. Everybody was ready. And you gave us Carrie versus Jason Voorhees? Are you high? No, to be quite honest, it was actually a pretty good versus movie. But she's not even called Carrie. At least go all the way with it. But anyways, this movie's not bad. Friday the 13th New Blood is fun. I like the heroine actress that Jason actually fights a supernatural chick that uses her mind and stuff like that. I think that's really, really dope. Finally, we get like another supernatural character that's not Jason. Jason becomes a supernatural character in Jason Lives. So how do people feel about that? Me, I didn't give a shit. I loved it. I like the supernatural aspect overall. So putting it on Friday the 13th was cool. You know, I think that's cool. Mostly all the horror icons, I like, have the supernatural flavor. You have Jason, Freddy, Chucky, Michael. You know, I think it's pretty dope. In my opinion, I'm just happy they didn't do that with Ghostface. In my opinion. Because Ghostface doesn't seem like he should be that. And if you all gonna do that, make that spiritual stuff about Ghostface, make it more of like, oh, you think Ghostface is always coming back because it's all that spirituality, I mean, supernatural stuff, but it's not. It's just a person that's in a costume every time, which, again, it is overall indifferent in all the movies. But if you're all gonna lean to that supernatural element of Ghostface, you will lean more into people dressing up as him, which is why most likely they never did the supernatural stuff, because it's like, yeah, if we have the supernatural stuff, it will affect more of the story, I guess, or bring it a little bit more heightened a bit. But what's the point if we're just going to explain that all people always dress into different ghost faces, you know? So it just kind of ruins the supernatural element at that point, in my opinion. Not to the extent, it's not like so bad that I get rid of it, but it kind of hinders it a bit, to the point that maybe you should have never had it to begin with. So, just saying. Not to say you can't have fun with it if you did put it one day or in the future, but I'm just glad that the Scream movies don't do that. Thank goodness. Because every horror movie should be different. So, not to say that you should not put supernatural elements in horror movies. You should, if it calls for it. If it calls for it for the character and the story, then do it. You know. So moving on. Again, New Blood is fine. I do like how they always pay homage to the ending of the first Friday the 13th movie. The main heroine's daddy, comes out of the freaking water and grabs Jason and pulls him down into the water and shit like that. Really cool. Jason Voorhees loses to a freaking snow bunny? I'm offended. No. Aren't they all snow bunnies? Moving on. Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan. Oh, wait. I didn't even say the poster for New Blood. The poster for New Blood is dope. It is. It's dope. Just take out the Carrie-like character and put Freddy's face on there, and you know you got something great right there. You got a great poster right there. But overall, it's still a good poster. I like the poster. It's not a bad poster. Yeah. It's not a bad poster. I think it's really cool. But let's go to Jason Takes Manhattan. That movie, I don't hate this movie, but I don't love it either. Yes, Jason is mostly on a boat. And at the end, he's in Manhattan, barely. Because even back then, it was expensive to film in New York. So why would you want to put it in New York? Because at that time, a lot of movies did that. A lot of movies, when Jason Takes Manhattan came out, a lot of movies were taking it to the big city. Either you like that or not is another story for another day. Me, how do I felt about it? As a kid, I love when characters go to the big city. I always loved it as a kid. Even though it was played out as shit, but I always loved it. How do I feel about now in 2026? In a way, I kind of miss it, but at the same time, I'm glad it's dead. But at the same time, it's like, is it really dead? You know? But overall, Jason Takes Manhattan is fun. Not bad kills, in my opinion. I think the other movies have better kills than this movie. There is one part when Jason's fighting the brother, and he's like, "Your turn." Ding ding ding, knocks his head off, and it just rolls off in the freaking trash can and shit like that. Excuse me, obviously I'm drinking, but other than that, I mean, again, not bad. Not a terrible movie. Not the worst horror movie I ever watched, but certainly not the best Friday the 13th movie. I'll say that right now. But again, overall, I don't hate these Friday the 13th movies. Some of them might feel less than others, but overall, like when I was watching them as a kid, as a series like this, Jason Takes Manhattan always felt the weaker of the two. I mean, the weaker of the other movies, which is crazy because I usually like the black sheep of the series. But this one right here just, at least Jason's look is good. It's iconic. Some people debate this Jason look over Jason Lives look. I'm dead serious. Don't try to get me to be in that conversation. We'd be here all day. But the poster, Jason looming in Manhattan with his dagger. What's up with these daggers? At this point, he has a machete. What the fuck's wrong with you? Anyways, it doesn't matter. He's a hunter. Yeah, Jason is a hunter. So, while Michael Myers is a stalker, Jason is a hunter. I love that. I love that dynamic, man. If you're gonna make a character that's literally basically mocking, not even mocking, freaking you stole Michael Myers and made it your own. Okay, Jason Voorhees. I mean, yeah. Michael Myers is a stalker. What are you gonna make your character that you stole? You basically stole Michael Myers, so what are you gonna make this character be to stand out as Michael Myers? Oh, just make him as a hunter, put him in the woods. Okay, why not? I actually like that. So pretty cool. I like when Jason hunts. It's really cool. Other than that, we go to probably one of the most controversial movies of all time in the series. The poster is pretty cool. Everything's all fiery in the background. You got that freaking awesome, epic, freaking silver hockey mask with a freaking serpent coming out of, supposed to be Jason, like his spirit, his soul, and shit like that. But kind of looks like a penis. Sorry. Yeah, kind of looks like a dick. I don't know. For kind of loud, even when you see the creature in the movie, he doesn't even look like that. So they knew it looked kind of dickish. So they put arms and legs and went. This movie, oh man, this movie you know how a lot of people say that, oh, you're just copying Halloween at this point. Jason has a sister. Going back to what I said in this video, this character was basically a ripoff of Michael Myers. So taking stuff from Michael Myers is nothing new for this character, in my opinion. Is it warranted? To me, it's just there. I do like how the main character that we follow is going after Jason's sister because they did have a thing and stuff like that. And he's trying to protect her and the baby that she has. So that right there is cool. And this movie is kind of funny too when his friend cop tries to stop him and stuff. He's like this in one of the scenes, and he sees his friend. He's like, "Oh man!" And then gets punched, and then they punch each other. They're fighting and shit like that. It's just kind of funny. It's like, man, fuck that. I have a gun. You know, it's shit like that. It's fucking fun. You know, the characters make this movie, in my opinion. The characters make this movie. And the whole swapping bodies with Jason, I didn't mind that all that much. It was kind of stupid though that in the beginning how Jason swapped bodies, the brother in the ER is just like grabs a heart, eats like a fucking cheeseburger. The hell's wrong with you? You could say that, oh, maybe Jason manipulated his mind, man. That's why he ate his heart, man. Okay, but it really didn't convey that all that much. He was just looking at it like, basically, like, you're gonna eat that thing? Oh shit, you are. Okay. And then you see the souls coming out of Jason Voorhees' body and going inside of him. You could have skipped that part. Him eating Jason's heart, you could have skipped that. You could have edited it out and shit like that. And then when he turns around, he just feels weird and high. And he opens his, ER, his doctor jacket. And then the soul of Jason just goes into his body. And that's it. That's how you explained it. There you go. You don't have to have him eat his heart. Literally. If you're going to show his, his essence of body go inside the person anyways, I don't know. Again, I like this movie. I like Jason Goes to Hell with the Final Friday. The thing is, too, Jason Goes to Hell is fine. It's fine. That title alone is fine. Under it, the Final Friday, it should never have been called the Final Friday. It's like literally, it's literally saying Friday the 13th, the final chapter. It's. I don't know what you could call the fourth Friday the 13th movie. Just call it Friday the 13th Part 4. Why is that so hard? And then this one, just call Jason Goes to Hell. Just Jason Goes to Hell. Stupid concept. And a lot of people might hate this movie, but everyone praises the ending. Still to this day, I love this ending for Jason Goes to Hell. And it's kind of funny that when I first watched it with my sister and my mom, that they were like, hey, what's going on? You see Jason's mask. And I'm like, wait, this is the moment, guys. This is the moment. They're like, what are you talking about? And then, whew, they're like, Freddy? And I'm like, yo, grabs Jason's hand. Freaking, it's fun fact, that was Kane Hodder's hand. Meaning that Kane Hodder actually played as Jason and Freddy. Awesome. Even if it was just a brief moment of Kane Hodder playing as Freddy. We got it. I don't know how we look with the skull makeup and all that, nothing like that, or something like that. Or maybe, you know how Goblin England always says that anyone can play as Freddy? Basically, it could have been one of those things when Freddy transforms into a person that we know, but he mocks the viewer, the person he's going after. And you'd be like, wait a minute, that's Kane Hodder. And then he reverts to his regular self and shit like that. So that could have been cool in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I wouldn't mind it. Again, the poster of the cover is really cool, really stands out. The movie is just fun as hell, but it has a lot of deleted scenes, especially if you watch the poster. For crying out loud, there's a part in the movie that's deleted where the Jason's sister's holding a baby, and the baby looks like Jason, just really fucked up and demonic. Where's that scene? When I saw that in the trailer for this movie, I was like, that sounds really fucking crazy. I want to see that shit. And it just shows the cycle continuing. They want to do that a lot in this series, do they? Huh. Why? 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 They even do it in the next movie. Jason X. Porn rated. No. Anyways, Jason X. I go back and forth with this movie. I don't know how I feel about it now. Like I said, I have to go back and watch these movies again. But it is true what people said. The only time a horror icon went to space and it actually worked was with Jason. It really did. It really did work with Jason, in my opinion. I like Uber Jason a lot, to the point that we had Jason versus Uber Jason in the comic book. Who knew we would ever get that? That's a whole other can of worms right there. For crying out loud. There's even a comic book when Jason versus Leatherface happens. And they don't even fight. But the cover's nice. But the story's not bad either in that comic book. But overall, you're just expecting a fight, a bloody massacre, but you really don't get that. But you do get the psychologically of how Bubba head works and how does Jason head work too. So it's very intriguing, that comic book of Jason versus Leatherface. Very intriguing. Sick ass poster though. Sick ass fucking poster for that comic book. But moving on. Jason X. They were trying to do Freddy vs. Jason again, but it was taking a while to make the movie, so they were like, let's just make Jason X. Another deleted scene too that I saw years ago. I don't know if this is true. Maybe I forget. Maybe it's just a Mandela effect or some shit. I could have sworn. And the Freddy vs. Jason trailer, we saw Jason falling down from the sky and then coming back up from the freaking ocean. And then all of a sudden you show him fighting Freddy and shit like that, introducing Freddy and Jason finally freaking clashing. Have you guys saw that trailer? Am I the only one that's misremembering? Maybe I am, because I could have sworn I remember that fucking trailer. All of a sudden, like, bing, a star comes, falls in the water. Jason rises up from the water and stuff like that. You don't even see him get out of the water. You just see his hockey mask and a little bit of his shoulder, and that's it. So, and then they show Freddy and shit like that. So, correct me if I'm wrong. There has to be a trailer out there that shows that. Because I watched the trailer to Freddy vs. Jason a lot. Not just the one that we saw, that they put in, that we saw in the DVD or what we see on YouTube. But there's different trailers in the DVD, and I looked at all of them, and they don't have it. They don't have it. So maybe I misremembered. Or maybe it's something that they had, because after this movie, they had to explain why is Jason in this world? Because Freddy is in this world now. I think they were trying to explain after Jason X of why Freddy is in this new planet. That is similar to Earth, basically. I don't know. Every town has an Elm Street, I guess, right? So Jason X, it's fine. It's a good sci-fi movie. The main heroine is fucking hot and sexy, and I'm glad that we saw her in Chucky. Just goes to show that the Earth 2 that they went to is canon to all these horror icons, and she died by Chucky's hands. So if you ever want to know who this woman was, she changed her name, had a life, had a son, got killed by Chucky. There you go. We're horror fans. We can make our shit. We can make that shit up. But the movie never explained it. The movies never did that. Even the TV show. You're a horror fan. You'll be fine. You can make that shit up. Seriously. All right? Just have fun. It's a horror movie. For crying out loud, guys. Seriously. I don't get people like that. Oh, that never happened. So stop having fun. How about you stop being a dick? Seriously. So Jason's outfit in Jason X, I think it's better than the one he looks like in Jason vs. Freddy. In Jason vs. Freddy, he's supposed to look like a Frankenstein. Even when you take off his mask, he literally looks like Frankenstein. Yeah. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Jason X overall is fun. There's a few women there that love premarital sex, so that automatically gets me a star for me. They love premarital sex, really. Oh, you should have told me a long time ago. No. And this movie was ahead of its time, having a sexy Android 18 robot, redhead, by the way. Man, this movie was ahead of its time. For crying out loud. That shit's funny. John Carter looking at you, making friends with AI. John Carter looking at you having sex with androids. Can you blame me? Look at her. No. But moving on. Anything else I could talk about with Friday the 13th? Let's talk about Freddy vs. Jason. This movie is freaking awesome, in my opinion. I know a lot of people don't like Freddy vs. Jason. I'll say this. After New Blood, after the Friday the 13th New Blood, a lot of people feel like the series went downhill after that. People didn't like Jason Takes Manhattan. Some people definitely didn't like Jason Goes to Hell. People hated on Jason X. I hated it too at some points when I was younger. Again, I need to watch these movies again to get a fresh mind and stuff like that. I'm just going off of how I felt at the time and how I can remember from last time I saw these movies. And then Freddy vs. Jason, a lot of people just hate too. You know, but overall, I think Friday the 13th series, the whole series, is fun. Really, just a really fun horror icon to explore, to talk about, and see him do his thing. In my opinion, sorry. And him finally fighting Freddy Krueger is awesome. I'm glad we finally got that. You know, do I wish Kane Hodder played as Jason Voorhees in that movie? Yes. And it's stupid that they were like, oh, he's just too small. Even though he's like 6'2" or 6 feet or some shit, right? Fun fact, though, the guy that played Jason in this movie of Freddy vs. Jason, by the way, the covers for Jason X is pretty cool. I like the cover for Jason X. But the cover for Freddy vs. Jason is really cool too, in my opinion. I still wish they kept the poster that we got when Freddy's like, ah, and Jason's like, you know, like, I wish they kept that poster instead of just the generic blue cover, you know, that we got, but for the DVD, but whatever. I just like the black one when they look like they're about to fight each other and run after each other. That shit's really cool. But, yeah, fun fact, the Jason that played in Friday and Jason vs. Freddy was the guy that was in Jason Takes Manhattan when Jason goes inside a diner, I believe, and the guy's like, hey, what's that? And then Jason just grabs him and throws him in the window and then breaks the glass and shit like that. So hey, if anyone wanted payback for whatever reason, just watch Jason Takes Manhattan and be like, yeah, that's what you get for freaking taking his spot in Friday vs. Jason. I guess, if you want to feel that way. Me, when I look back at that movie, it's like, yes, revenge. But moving on. Oh yeah, let's talk about Friday the 13th, the remake. I don't mind the remake. Some people might be like, oh, it's just a highlight of everything about Jason Voorhees. Okay, and you have a problem with that? What? I didn't know that was shit. I liked the 2009 Friday the 13th movie, especially the uncut version. I like the uncut version than the regular version. I still wish we got a sequel to that movie, because still to this day, a lot of people point out saying that, what is the good remake between these horror icons? You know? And this was before Chucky got one. So at the time, people were like, well, no one didn't like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street remake. A lot of people were pissed off at the Halloween remake. So looking at the Friday the 13th remake, some people were still upset, but over time, people have looked at this movie a little bit fondly as like, you know what? It's not bad as the other remakes, you know? They even put the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre right next to it too, to be like, no, these two horror movies right here are good examples of how to make a horror movie right, you know? I know a lot of people complain about the characters in the remake of Friday the 13th remake, but I didn't mind them all that much. Maybe the characters in the beginning, you know, I know a lot of people always complain saying that, oh, why are you going to create characters that just get killed off in the beginning of the movie? I hate that. I hate it. Well, you know what? We need a body countdown. And if you hate that too, why do you watch these horror movies then? Seriously, especially if it's Friday the 13th. We came here to watch some body counts. We're not here to freaking listen to a Teletubby story or a freaking crazy story that you see in Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday or freaking Halloween. We watch those movies for that. We don't come to Friday the 13th to watch that shit. Maybe you do, but I don't. I don't watch Friday the 13th for the story. I watch Friday the 13th for the kills and for the person that's actually doing the kills. That's just me, man. Seriously. Got a problem with it? Well, then you should never like this franchise anyways. This franchise isn't for you. Just say that. I'm not gatekeeping, but this is just how this franchise is. Seriously. Is it more than that too? Of course. There's character development in these movies. But it's not like character development, if you understand. There's a reason why they keep rebooting the series with different characters, even though you had Tommy right there, you know? So, hey, if they didn't care, why should we, you know? So, just saying. So, what's the last thing I should talk about with Friday the 13th? I keep saying Nightmare on Elm Street. With Friday the 13th. Oh, yeah. The newest one that came out not that long ago, right? What's it called? Is it just called Friday the 13th or Jason? Is it just called that? What's the new Friday the 13th movie called? Let's see. That came out in 2025, right? The Mask looks horrible, in my opinion. Yeah, it's just called Friday the 13th. Oh no, it's just called Jason Universe. Okay. I didn't watch this movie. This is the only Jason movie I haven't seen. And judging by the way it looks, the design of Jason, it looks like they took the remake costume of the 2009 Jason and then went to a Halloween store with a fucked up Jason mask and then grabbed it and called it a day. That's what it looks like to me. Because the hockey mask is a character in itself, guys. And the fact that they want to butcher it is just fucking sad. It is. It's fucking sad, bro. It is so fucking sad. It is. It's fucking sad. So, I think that's really it. What can I say about Friday the 13th overall? Oh man, that's right. Are we getting like stuff from Blumhouse that are trying to make a Friday the 13th? Please, I'm done with Blumhouse. I'm done with A24 trying to freaking make these whole icons like, oh, we can bring them back to their limelight what they used to be. No, because you suck. Jeez, man. Because you have to go through so many fucking people, so many PR motherfuckers that are fucking offended of a guy slashing a girl with a fucking machete. So fucking ridiculous, bro. So fucking disrespectful to the franchise, to the character, and insulting my intelligence. Seriously. But overall, this series is fun. I highly recommend Friday the 13th series. I highly recommend the movies. Highly, highly recommend it. Oh yeah, I never talked about some of the ladies that got killed. Oh, but it was so hot. There was a lot of fucking sexy ass ladies. I'll say this. Part 2, ladies, the part 2 Friday the 13th ladies that were in that movie. Yes. Just yes. Anyways, but I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think about Friday the 13th, the movies. Tell me what you guys think about the posters. What's your favorite poster? What's your favorite Friday the 13th movie? And tell me what you guys think about the newest Friday the 13th movie that just came out that I haven't seen at all and I don't care to see. At all. It just doesn't... It's not screaming out to me. You know, which is sad because all these other movies screamed out to me but one. You know? Oh well. At least it's just one. I just hope they get Jason right again. But most people are like, hey, it's take it or leave it. I haven't seen Jason in a long time. I get it. But we're going to take trash. Really? We're going to take trash because we haven't seen a character in a long time? Man, how low have we gone as horror fans, bro? It's sad, bro. It's fucking embarrassing. It's embarrassing. But I'll see you guys later. Be safe. And what's your favorite Jason kill? And what is your favorite Jason moment? And what's your favorite hockey mask at the end of the day? Because he has a lot of different hockey masks. You can even compare from the poster covers and inside the movie what he looks like. So I'll see you guys later. Be safe. Enjoy your day. Have a Johnson day. No, have a killer day. And yeah, that's really it. That is really, really it. I'll see you guys and be safe.